Hi everyone, myself Yashi, and this video is all about my 2 year CLAT journey from big dreams to hard learned lessons. So, people around me don't want to listen all of my rants, so I decided to make a video on it. So it's better way to get your emotions out like this. So, my journey of pursuing law and my interest in law started when I was in 5th grade, and my grandfather told me about the power of CGI, that is Chief Justice of India. So at that time I was very fascinated, like I want to be a CGI, and I still want to be a CGI, but we will see in future what else and what we can do. So in 5th grade I was very curious, so I started googling, and I came across one video which called best college for law in India, NLSIU. So I immediately called my elder brother and I told him ki bhaiya, I want to get here, and I'm going to get here. So he was like, okay, we will see in future, firstly you prepare for your school exams. So धीरे धीरे, slowly and gradually, I came to know about CLAT and everything about CLAT. So my only aim was in life to get into NLS and to study law. My only aim was that. So in after my 10th board, I told my parents and my family members ki I want to pursue my career in law and I want to do all of this. So they were like ki okay, we will see, but first you complete your 11th and 12th. So I was like, no, I want to take a dummy and I want to prepare. So they were like, no, we cannot allow you to take a dummy because 11th and 12th is also very important, and for humanities student it is very important. So I decided not to go for dummy, and instead I decided to prepare with regular school. So I used to go school, came back, study for my school, study for CLAT, take my classes, coaching classes. So in 11th I have online coaching, so that was very not very exhausting, but school was very exhausting for me. But love I love studying CLAT के subjects. I still love studying. So in 11th my main focus was on कि मैं लीगल के सारे लॉज सब कुछ मतलब जितना भी बेसिक्स हैं, क्रिमिनल टॉर्ट्स या पीसी, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, फैमिली, डाउरी एक्ट एंड पॉस मैं ये सब कवर कर लेती हूँ, एंड आई कवर दैट. Legal was pretty much covered at that time. My critical was also covered that time. I have covered three topics of cons also, like average, percentage, and the simple interest. Simple interest was very fun doing. So and I started doing English also, and English required you a skill. So I used to read newspaper, I used to read nuance के articles. So that was very fascinating at that time, still it is. So I used to read Substack पे essays also, but वो but that was like थोड़ा outer side पे, क्योंकि उतना broader आता नहीं है. तो like you can read, it will enhance your vocabulary and it will enhance your understanding, thinking ability especially. So in 11th I used to do, but in 11th I was very regular with my schools. Like I used to go school daily, and I was thoda studious in school also, so it made me go school daily. So all of this happened in 11th, and then January came. So I decided to shift my focus from all that to practice and on current affairs. So I started giving mocks on every Sunday. I used to give mocks. Then I used to practice sectionals daily. I started doing sectionals daily. One sectional daily I used to do. फिर I used to take current affairs. I used to read newspaper and make notes of current affair from newspaper and then go to read my compendiums. I make pocket diary for vocabularies, and it was very very fun doing and revising it. I used to revise it on every second day. So all of this happened, and my 11th finals came. I performed well in that, but for 11th finals I have to sideline my CLAT ki preparation. So I did that and I scored pretty well in 11th. And then आफ्टर 11th आई वॉज लाइक कि अब तो सीरियस होने का टाइम आ गया है, अब तो सीरियस होना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि उस टाइम पे मेरे मॉक्स में नंबर भी अच्छे नहीं आते थे. तो आई डिसाइडेड टू आइसोलेट माई सेल्फ कम्प्लीटली. आई कट एवरी वन. I literally cut every single person, and I isolated myself completely. So everything around me that used to consume my so much energy, I cut everyone down, and I regret that. Till abhi, but we will not talk about that abhi. So I used to go to school. No, I used to wake up. I used to revise my current affairs की compendium. I used to get ready while watching newspaper analysis की class. Then I go to school while revising my vocabulary. तो मैं जाते जाते रिवाइज करती थी. एंड ऑल्सो मेरे पास एक पॉकेट डायरी मैंने बनाई थी, जो मुझे नहीं फैक्ट्स याद होते थे, तो मैं उसमें लिख के उसको रिवाइज करती थी बार बार, सो दैट आई कैन रिकॉल दैट फॉर लॉन्ग टाइम. So I used to do that. Then I used to come back from school and sleep for 1 hour. Like I used to take 1 hour nap. Then I used to read newspaper, especially editorials, make notes of current affair topics which is important. Used to revise my current affairs compendiums and notes. Then I used to give 1 sectionals or 2 sectionals daily of especially of the subject I'm not performing well in mocks. So I used to give uske sectionals. Suppose I'm not performing well in English, so for the next week I used to give 1 English के sectionals daily. तो उससे जो है थोड़ा इम्प्रूवमेंट आ जाती थी. So by this I used to increase my mocks के number, and everyone else do like that. So after this after sections I used to give 1 mock, because for me giving mock was very important, क्योंकि फिर मैं उस जोन में आ जाती थी कि हाँ अब तो पेपर दे रहे हैं. तो it was very important for me. So I used to give mocks. I used to analyze it. I used to revise legal, क्योंकि legal require you a sense of thinking ability, also critical ability. So I used to do that. Then I used to sleep at night, and I also have to study for school because I was a regular student. So I used to do all of this. And so ये करते करते November came, and in November was very traumatizing to me. November was very heartbreaking. I lost my family member in November, and that was something I never imagined of. But I did not stop there. For me, तब तक CLAT was not just an exam. It was a dream that I carry from 5th grade. So it was very important for me. So all of that happened. Then I came, and it took me thoda ज़्यादा time to come on track. I used to study, but you cannot study like that the way you used to before the tragedy has happened. So I used to study. फिर December आ गया, and then in December, on 5th of December, it was my birthday. So my mentor told me कि कुछ नहीं करना है, enjoy your birthday, celebrate your birthday. And my brother also, he told me कि देखो बहुत पढ़ लिया है, बहुत मार्क्स ले लिए हैं, अब चिल हो जाओ. So I did that. I celebrated my birthday. But you know, the fear of कि मेरा परसों एग्ज़ाम है और मुझे पढ़ना है was in my mind. So I revised in November की compendiums, whole compendium, or even on my birthday, and discussed it with my friends. Then most important topics भी मैंने किए थे बर्थडे के दिन. So that was, and on 6th of December I solved one sample paper and calculated the marks, and I got 112 out of 120, and it boosted my confidence कि हाँ मैं पेपर में अच्छा कर सकती हूँ. So but back of the mind ये भी तो चल रहा था that mock sample paper was very easy, तो पेपर भी अगर कहीं easy आ गया. And you know, you cannot trust CLAT consortium क्योंकि you cannot. If you are trusting them, you are a fool. So you cannot trust them. So then 7th of December came. I got up. I practiced circling OMR. I still remember I went to Monday that day, and then I came back, got ready, went to center, gave my paper, and I still remember when I got my paper I was very chill at that time, and I was कि अगर पेपर टफ आए तो सबके लिए आएगा, ईजी आए तो सबके लिए आएगा. सो आई वॉज बैक ऑफ माई माइंड, आई वॉज टेलिंग माई सेल्फ कि अगर ईजी आया है तो सबके लिए आएगा, तो खुश नहीं होना है, ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस में गलत नहीं करके आना है, और अगर टफ आए तो सबके लिए आया होगा तो पैनिक नहीं करना है. सो आई ओपनड माई पैकेट and opened the seal and saw the paper, and I turned the page, saw logical reasoning. It was very very disheartening to see that, because logical reasoning my critical reasoning was my strongest. Like even in the hard to hard mark I used to get 18 plus out of 20 to 23. I used to get 18 plus anyhow. So I lost my one advantage there. Then I saw legal was very easy. I lost my advantage there. Went to current affairs, saw current affairs was very easy, lost my advantage there. English was very easy, I lost my advantage there. And I was only left with QT to gain my marks and to analytical reasoning. For me, QT was very lengthy because it was demanding a long calculation, and लास्ट में मेरे पास उतना टाइम नहीं था कि मैं QT को दे पाऊँ. तो so all of this happened. I came out of the center. I was crying. Everyone was crying. I came home. Everything was ended for me. I just want to tell you guys that exams are important, but you are more important than your exam. You are more important. You know, strategies are important, but your mental health matters more. Take exam seriously, but never at your cost of yourself. That's all I want to say. And thank you for listening all my rants, because people around me don't want to listen. And if you're listening, we love you. Bye.